Hi guys, it's Patricia and it's Tester Tuesday, which is my favorite day of the week because I get to review 2 Scentsy scents with you guys and you guys pick by voting at the end of the video. Now, one thing I want to make sure I mention is I'm hoping that my testers will come sometime this week. And if they do, I'm going to do a couple of things. We will be drawing next video for the new spring and summer scents. And actually there'll be a lot of scents that have never been discussed before, but you may have seen some of the Disney scents that are returning, some of the scents of the month that are returning, but they're all new to the catalog, so I'm going to do that. And the other thing I'm hoping is if I get my testers in on the weekend, I'd love to do a live video. So we'll see how things develop. Anyway, let's get into the results for this week. We had a lot of votes, as per usual. In first place, we have this almost like a mustard caramel colored, well, not mustard, but anyway, this color wax, and with 23% of the vote, it is caramel sugar cone. And in second place, I do not happen to have a bar to show you, but this is the color of the wax. It's almost like a reddish, I felt like it was a little more purple to start, but this is what it is now. And this is Brazilian grapes, and it had 20% of the vote. So the order went caramel, sugar cone, Brazilian grapes. One vote behind that, we had sheerwood, so that was pretty close. We had mandarin splash, hollyberry cinnamon, and with barely any votes, apple and cinnamon sticks. So let's talk about our first place scent this week. It is caramel sugar cone, and these are my used up testers for the week. And this is a spring and summer seasonal scent, and coming up in February, it will be season 3 for this. So it first came out in 2018, spring and summer, returned in 2019, and guess what? It is returning for spring and summer 2020. So if you like this scent, lucky you. And it's in the bakery category. Now on cold sniff, I would say it's about a medium intensity. The scent description for this is guilt-free gooey caramel, vanilla, sugar cone, and malt. So we have gooey caramel. A lot of people are scared of caramel. I feel like this is like a homemade caramel because it's a little more sophisticated. It's not an overly sweet scent. It is sweet, but it's not like cloyingly sweet, and caramel can often do that. Then we have vanilla, maybe a little bit of vanilla, I'll explain as we go. Sugar cone, I get a lot of that. And malt, I think I get a lot of that. Now, you might be wondering what malt is. I'm going to read you a couple things. So malt is the product left over after a certain grain has been dried, allowed to sprout, air dried again, then treated in an oven. That doesn't sound very good. They use rice, wheat, oats, and rye. Rye is probably the most popular. So then I'm thinking, okay, well, what does malt smell like? So let me read you something else. It says, generally speaking, a malt taste can be described as having a combination of flavors. It tastes sweet and nutty, but is also described as tasting similar to toast, caramel, coffee, or fruits like raisins. The reason for its sweet, almost dessert-like taste has to do with how malt is made from barley. So basically with this one here, like I said, not overly sweet to me. I think that malt, I feel like there's a lot of caramel, like a sophisticated caramel, but there's a lot of sugar cone and a lot of malt and very little vanilla. The vanilla is just there, I think, to blend and soften things. But I think the malt is that special, sophisticated part of this scent that makes it different. If you really like this scent, the malt is probably what is drawing you to it. And Courtney, she has her own channel here on YouTube. This is her favorite scent. I thought I'd mention that. So when I smell this too, the other thing I feel like I get when I take like a deep, deep, deep breath, and even like in the room that it's warming, I feel like you get the tiniest tinge of molasses, the tiniest tinge. But yeah, I would say scent appeal on this is probably around 7 out of 10 for me. I like it. I don't love it. So I put it in 2 spots. I put it in my son's room downstairs, which has the 2 full-size warmers split up into 2 rooms kind of thing. I had it going there 2 days, 25 hours, strength and throw about 7.5. Then in my mudroom, laundry room, I put the equivalent of 1 cube. Strength and throw was also 7.5 in a mini warmer. And I left it going there 2 days, 28 hours. It felt like it lasted a tiny bit longer there, but it was very soft as the hours progressed. So this one here, I find this is the best way to think of it. Okay, you've got a sugar cone. You're getting an ice cream made. And the sugar cone, they put a little bit of caramel down in the bottom of the sugar cone. Then they put the vanilla ice cream. and then you're good to go. So you're thinking, okay, so you're eating your cone, eating your cone, eating your cone. Now what this smells like is when you have basically just a little bit of melted vanilla down in the bottom with quite a bit of caramel, because it's strong, caramel strong. You got the taste of the sugar cone. But it's almost like that malt. It's like they must have scooped something that almost had like a gingerbread taste, and that was left a little bit on the scooper. And that gives it the special little something that reminds me of malt, I guess. Anyway, that's the best way I can describe it. This is a pretty nice scent. I would say family members of this scent. If you like scents like caramel, sugar cookie, what else? I wrote a couple things down. Toffee butter crunch, dulce de leche. I find all of those scents are stronger than this one. So this is very suitable to a spring and summer version of a caramel scent. That's a good way to think of it as well, because caramels can be very heavy and kind of like thick in the air. This is not so bad. So I think that's why it's a spring and summer. I would stick to medium-sized rooms for this. And one thing this is very well known for is it's mixed with Johnny Appleseed. And I do find that this plus Johnny Appleseed is a touch different than the caramel apple craze that we have now. And will I repurchase this? I will probably always want to have one bar on hand, but I don't typically reach for this kind of scent very often. But that is caramel sugar cone. A pretty good scent. And a lot of people will be happy it's back. Okay, so let's talk about our second place scent this week. It is Brazilian grape. And this is what it looks like in the bottom of my dish. And I tried to put this in the freezer and pop it out, and I couldn't get it out. So I'll put it on the warmer for just maybe 5 minutes, and it'll soften it up just to pop it out. Now here I had basically 3 testers, which is about 2 cubes worth. And that, unfortunately, that is not a great amount of wax to judge a scent. But let's go with it. So this scent came in the spring and summer of 2016. And it would have been probably in the fruity category, and I think it was only around for 1 season. And on cold, I would say it's pretty light. Now, I got my daughter to smell a bunch of the Bring Back My Bars, and I said, which ones do you want in your room? But I also slipped in the testers of Brazilian grapes. And as soon as she smelled it, she said, well, that one smells like chemicals. And she smelled all 3 testers and said, that one smells like chemicals. So unfortunately, I didn't smell it ahead of time, but she was right. It did have a little bit of a chemical smell. So I'm not sure if this scent is going a little wonky. Some scents hold over fine for many, many years. I'm not sure because I don't have any other thing to compare it to, but she thought it smelled a little off, and so did I. So anyway, let me read you the scent description. It is bergamot zest, grapevine, and sugared lemon weave a softly sweet fragrance deepened by a hint of aged oak. So I don't really get bergamot zest. I don't really get the sugared lemon. I definitely get grapevine, and I definitely get aged oak. So for me, based on just the warming that I had here in my bedroom, 25-watt bulb warmer, roughly 2 cubes, I basically would describe this scent as a soft, sweet, slightly fruity, grapey, almost a little bit of a tinge of wine type fragrance. It's a little bit earthy, and then you get the beautiful oak, and it kind of grounds it. That is really nice. The aged oak, it makes it quite pleasant, better than I thought it was going to be. It's a very nice scent, but it's subtle. And I think Marcy was one of my subscribers that commented that she loved this scent. So Marcy, if you are watching this and you have any additional feedback on this scent, you can weigh in down in the comments below. But the problem with this scent for me was its performance. I put it in the warmer. Strength and throw was like 5 out of 10 at best. It might even have been like 4 out of 10. It was very, very light. I left it going 13 hours. I tried it 3 different days, a total of 13 hours, and I just said, now that is it. So if this is what Brazilian grapes is like, I would not recommend it. I have a feeling it has changed a little bit, but if you were going to pick this up, if you saw it like at a, like an open house at a consultant's place or whatever, you could probably warm it in small rooms, and then that would be the best thing. And I don't think I could get a similar scent to recommend to you because it was really hard to get a good read on this scent. And I don't really find that we have a lot of things that are kind of similar. But it was quite nice, but definitely disappointing. Would I repurchase this? I probably would, just to try it out again to see if this is true to what it's like. But if it stayed the same, I would not repurchase it. So that is Brazilian grapes. So now we are going to move on to drawing for the 6 scents for next week's review. But you guys are going to vote either on Tuesday or early Wednesday morning. You can check the pinned comment to see if voting is open or closed. If you cannot comment on YouTube videos, find my Instagram post and put your vote there. It's Patricia Gates. And I'm going to try to cheat and kind of pick smaller bundles because I am bring back my bars, and I am taking notes all over the place. So we're just going to cheat and pick small things this week, or what feels kind of small. Scent number 1, Mocha Doodle. Scent number 2, sorry, I'm rooting. Sunburst Blooms. Scent number 3, Scarlet Woods. Scent number 4, Hug in a Mug. Scent number 5, Simply Nashi Pear. And scent number 6, Summer Soleil. So to review our scents this week, we have Mocha Doodle, which is a year-round scent. Sunburst Blooms, which is probably a spring and summer retired scent. I know it's retired because these testers are old. Yep, they smell. Scarlet Woods, that was a December 2017 scent of the month. Hug in a Mug, which is available right now until the end, well, until February 2nd. Then we have Simply Nashi Pear, a retired scent for quite a while. I should smell it. Who hates bag crinkling? Who likes bag crinkling? I hope it's okay. I think it's okay. Scent number 6, which is Summer Soleil, a retired spring and summer scent. So anyway, thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. I hope you guys have a great day in your neck of the woods. Can't wait to see what you guys vote for this week, and I will see you in the next video.